You too. What's good? It's your boy, Everything Water and Water is Everything My Familia. 2024 is here. I hope you guys had a wonderful new year. I want to appreciate everybody for 2023. It was a wonderful year for us, man. We went crazy. I started this channel basically in 2023 and it took off in 2023. So we're going to continue to grow. But I got this Perlarence Lance video. Look, Perlarence Lance. I was unfamiliar with your game. I didn't know you was a champion killer. I didn't know this weapon moved like that. But man, if y'all like this video, man, please leave a like and subscribe. Me get ready for this Solar Hunter build, man. Let's get it. Starting off this build, we're gonna be talking about the one and only Perlarence Lance. Now, this weapon just got so much better with this new season of the Wish because Solar just got really good artifact perks. So basically the perk of this weapon, exotic weapon, my apologies, is precision hits return ammo to the mag, landing 4 precision hits, loads a delayed solar explosive round for your next shot. And then with the catalyst, precision kills create an elemental damage explosion. So basically now you hit 4 precision headshots, you're gonna get a solar explosion. Now these solar explosions stun. Yes, it stuns unstoppable. It does crazy damage to unstoppable. Like the damage is really crazy. Like you can basically have infinite like solar explosives, like literally with this weapon, you know. And then with the artifact that they have 2 artifact perks, one of them called the Flint Striker, rapid solar weapon precision hits and rapid solar weapon final blows grants radiant. So now you have 2 different ways to get radiant with your melee and with just doing precision shots with the Perlarence Lance, and then also which is the ending, the raise of precision, while radiant solar precision final blows causes Commandant to ignite. This is really good perks with this weapon because now you're going to be stunning enemies, you're going to be creating infinite amount of ignitions, and then on top of that, when they explode, they're going to have another ignition. You know how crazy that is? So while hitting this enemy, they don't even have to die for them to kill other enemies around you because it's going to explode. So when they die, it's going to explode more. And then while hitting them, it's going to explode. So like I said, it's an infinite amount of explosions. This build is crazy, man. The Perlarence Lance is crazy. I'm telling you guys. Now we're going to get into an exotic armor we're going to be using with this build. Now with this build, we're going to be using, in my opinion, the best solar exotic right now in the game for hunters is the Shards of Galanor. Basically, throw a knife, final blows decreases the cooldown of your super, hits final blows with Blade Barrage will return super energy from your super ends. This just previously got a rework for this season, literally, and it's just so much better. You get your super in probably like 30 seconds. Like after you hit an enemy with your super, you're gonna get energy back as long as you make sure you hit all your knives onto an enemy, or you create a final blow, you're gonna get probably, like I say, 40 to 45% of your super. And then after that, because you're gonna be scorching everything with your fragments and the whole build and everything, you're gonna get your super in like 30 seconds. And I have 90, I believe I have 90 intellect, so that adds on to it too. So yeah, you get your super really quick. So you're gonna be spamming ignitions with your Perlarence Lance, and then you're gonna be spamming your super with the Shards of Galanor. This is a crazy insane build. You can honestly use this build for end game content. The Perlarence Lance is end game. It's an end game weapon already. You can use this build like for any content you want to do, honestly. Like this is a solid build. But yeah, now we're gonna get into the fragments, the abilities, and the aspects of this build. Let's get it. Alright, starting off this wonderful build, we got the Blade of Barrage, obviously, because it goes well with the Shards of Galanor. For an abilities, we're going to be using Gambler's Dodge. When you're using Solar, you want to use Gambler's Dodge because that weighted knife throw. The weighted knife throw is the best knife for this season by far. I don't care what you say, the 3 knives is cool. The proximity knife is only good when you're using the Calibur's hand, but yeah, let's get into it. For a grenade, healing grenade, it's probably the best way to go. You can use any of this, but it's really pointless, in my opinion. I feel like healing grenade is just good for just all around, and it just does good with one of your fragments too. Now for our aspects, we're going to be using Knock 'em Down, and we're going to be using On Your Mark. You do not need Gunpowder Gamble because you're going to be exploding everything anyway. Now for our fragments, we're going to be using Amber of Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants make you and thereby allies radiant. Now, with the Perlesian's Lance, we're going to be getting Radiant by hitting 4 consecutive headshots, which could be hard sometimes. So we have this just in case the headshot or is not in our view. So we can just throw a throwing knife or a weighted throwing knife that also ignites too, by the way. But yeah, we can also throw a weighted throwing knife, which gives us Radiant and then gives us that extra, you know, artifact perks that we have. Also, we're going to be using Ember of Singeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. Now this is really good because we're going to be scorching everything, because now with one of these artifact perks, when you're Radiant, it scorches enemies that are not already scorched. So basically you're going to be getting your ability in, you know, like Arc Melee, and they get their gambler, their abilities, their ability, let me chill. The ability oh my god, I'm gonna have to cut that out. But basically, we're going to be using Ember of Singeing. Your class ability recharge faster when you scorch targets. Now, basically what this does is, like, you know how Arc does the same thing when you use your melee, you get your dodge really quick. This is the same thing. As long as you're scorching enemy, you're going to get your dodge in like 5 to 10 seconds. Honest truth. That's why you guys can see my mobility is low, because with this, you don't need a high mobility at all. We're going to be using Amber of Ashes. You apply more scorch stacks to target. Now this right here gives you like, I think 6 times stacks, and then right here just gonna ignite everything. So you can literally just like, if you have Radiant, you can just shoot 1 bullet, not even kill the enemy, and you throw a weighted knife, they're gonna explode. And then right here is gonna be going well with your healing grenade. We got the Ember of Emperon, solar weapons, or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration, and radiant effects apply to you. This is really good because with the healing grenade, now as long as you get final blows, you're going to be healing forever. You're going to be like a Wolverine type, and I like that. You know, last but not least, we got Ember of Beams. Your solar super projectiles have stronger target acquisitions. You feel me? Your soul. Okay, we're gonna be using Ember of Beams. Your solar super projectiles have a stronger target. Now, basically, what this basically does is it just gives you a lock-on aim, like what would they call it? A guided missile, but guided blades basically to the enemy. Because normally it just shoots like all over the place, but when you have this fragment, Ember of Beams, now you have a target aim. So if you see like 3 enemies, it's gonna hit those 3 enemies instead of just like seeing 3 enemies and hitting like 5, if that makes sense. So now this will give you a better chance to get your super energy back than it did before by having this, and it gives you extra intellect, which is good to make us to get to that 91. So that's cool. But that's it for the abilities aspects and the fragments. Let's get into our stats. First, starting off with our stats, obviously you want to have max resilience in everything you do, especially end game content, because I feel like this is a good build for end game games if you want to. So max resilience is mandatory. Then we're going max intellect. We want to get our super pretty quick because it's charged with Galeno. We're already going to get it pretty fast, but you want to get even faster. We're going to add that right there, that 91. You can get it 100. I don't have the gear for that. That makes it looks good, but 91 is just as good. So yeah. And then for our mods, you guys can screenshot. I'm using 2 solar weapon surges just to get that extra little buff. And then, you know, right here, this is more like attraction than like Reaper, and then more final blows with solar weapons, which is good. So yeah, go ahead and screenshot this, and your chest piece, depending on what content you're doing, you can see solar resistance, and we have right here. So yeah, that's really it for this video, man. If I like this type of video, man, please leave a like and subscribe. This is our first video of 2024. I got more coming this week. It's your boy Everything Water is everything. Hey, if y'all guys want me to start streaming on this channel too, some Destiny, run up some Destiny with you guys, you know, I'm a hunter main, we can. So yeah, just put in the comments, man. It's your boy Everything Water, and water is everything. I hope you guys have a wonderful year. We're gonna start this year off pretty strong, really strong. You know what I'm saying? But yes, your boy Everything Water is everything. My familia, I'm out.